Good morning, YouTubers. Happy Monday. Man, it's going to be a hot one today. We're talking about 84 degrees outside. It just rained for a couple minutes, and that's just going to make matters worse. It's going to get hot. It's going to get humid, but today's going to be a slightly easier day than most. We're not doing any mowing today. I'm actually going to go work on that sprinkler system that I showed you guys from the last week's video. We're going to be replacing 6 valves and 4 sprinkler heads. Is it going to be easy? Yeah, kinda. There's a little bit of work to it. There's some digging that's going to be involved. I'm actually going to be heading to Lowe's right now to pick up those 6 valves. I typically buy my valves from Site 1. I've never bought them from Lowe's. I want to go see Lowe's prices, see what they got, see what's available, and see if it's worth it to go there rather than Site 1. I do get things cheaper at Site 1 because I own a business, so I do get their business discount. But we're gonna go to Lowe's and see what they got. Completely unrelated subject. Anybody in the stock market right now biting their fingernails, I'm with you. Those prices are crazy. Everything's just shooting down right now, but stick with it. That's the stock market. It's typical stuff. Yeah, not a good day in the stock market today, but I'm thinking it's gonna bounce back. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't crash. What's going on here? Well, that's not good. That was an unmarked, looked like a volunteer firefighter. So let me get my way to Lowe's, and then I will give you guys a quick update with the sprinkler system in just a second. Hang tight, see you then. All right, picked me up a Red Bull dragon fruit. I can honestly say I've never had this one before, but I'm dragging today, so I'm gonna need some dragon fruit. No, I am a little bit exhausted. My the nerve in my neck I pinched. It's been driving me crazy the last couple of days. It's extra today, but a quick update on what I just got from Lowe's. These are the 3/4 in valve. Let's see if I can zoom in on that for you. Everybody I've ever talked to all the time, they always say Rainbird is good, and I honestly didn't know that Lowe's sold Rainbird. That's usually what I get when I go to Site 1. I think they have some other brands too, but I've been told that they're not very good, and these can be expensive projects if you do them yourself. Not really, but those are $16 a piece, $16.09 when you buy 4 or more, which I bought 6 of them. So, but I'm about 90% sure I'm going to be using all 6, just because the system is super old and it's never been replaced or fixed or anything like that. So I'm already there. I'm already digging a giant hole, so I might as well just replace all of them. And I talked to her about that, and she said that's fine, let's do that. And I explained to her why, you know, because more often than not, I'll go out, like last year I was replacing one of my clients' valves, and then this year again, you know, one of the other ones went out that didn't get replaced, and it just sucks because I was already there. You know, I could have just replaced it. It would have been like an extra, you know, $100 or whatever just to replace it. But then, you know, now somebody else has to go out there, or I have to go out there, redig the hole, undo everything, turn the system off, turn it back on, and then most people are charging about $300 to replace valves. So with that being said, I do think those prices are about the same as Site 1. But why I always go to Lowe's, for one, I've always lived right next to this Lowe's. I'm always like 10 minutes away from it. The closest Home Depot for me is literally all the way across town. It's about 20-25 minute drive. This one is like down the street. We're talking 5 to 10 minutes. So I always go to Lowe's. And I am a Lowe's pro, whatever you call it. I'm a rewards person, and I have an astonishing amount of money through Lowe's because I buy a lot of stuff here. I buy my plants here, my seed, my fertilizer. I buy all my lumber. Everything I get here is from here. I just went in there today and they have an entire new section of Carhartt. So it looks like they're going to be pushing Carhartt pretty hard here this year. But Lowe's compared to Home Depot, I know there's always that controversy of who's better. I'm a Milwaukee guy at heart, and Lowe's does not sell Milwaukee. And I believe Lowe's doesn't sell Ryobi anymore either. Makes sense though, because they're owned by the same company, Ryobi in Milwaukee. But yeah, I go to Lowe's for the simple fact of it's close. But definitely I would say in my area at least the Home Depot is much better. But this Lowe's has been here for a very long time. I think they have like a 3-star rating on Google. It's in a really crappy neighborhood. A lot of businesses around here are crappy. Like the Walmart we have, it's right there connected to Lowe's. That is one of the worst Walmarts I have ever been to, I have ever seen. That Walmart is absolutely disgusting. It is just so filthy. It's disgusting. My wife and I, we live right next to this Walmart, and we do our best to not go there. We literally drive an extra 20 minutes just to go to the Meijer. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a Walmart, but it's, you know, it's only up here in the Midwest. But we go to Sam's Club, which is 10 times better. But it's crazy how an establishment can be so crappy just by where it's at, where it's located. And when I say this Walmart, it's disgusting, I mean it's disgusting. One time I was walking out of there and there was a family, and there was like this 5 or 6 year old kid, and the double doors when you first walk in, when he walked out the first one, and then when he got into the in between the doors, he literally just started throwing up all over the floor. I mean, literally was vomiting all over the floor. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he got done vomiting, him and his entire family, they just walked out like nothing happened. Absolutely, I'm gagging just thinking about it. It was so gross. And that's not even the worst stuff that's happened at this Walmart. There's always food half eaten on the shelves in there. It's absolutely disgusting. It's so gross. I feel bad for anybody that has to work there. But yeah, anyway, $16 a piece for those Rainbirds. Not a bad price. I ended up spending about $103, I think it was, for all those, which is crazy because I told her it would be $600. I already have the heads, but it's going to be a lot of digging today. We're going to be digging because for those of you that know how valves work, there's 2 tubes. There's one on each end, and one of them you usually have to screw in. You might have to screw them both in. It just depends on how you hook the tubes up. But one of them you screw in, and then after you screw that one in, you have to get the other one in there. But it's hard plastic, so it's not like not like you can just, you know, boop, connect it right off the bat. So you have to dig quite a ways out so you have the flexibility of that hose. And I'll try to show you guys a little bit of that today. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're gonna go out over there now. It's about, from here, it's probably about a 20-25 minute drive, but we'll be there in no time. See you in just a second. Well, you guys, I messed up. I forgot to get, oh goodness, my glasses are fogging. I forgot to get the clamps for the hoses, and it really sucks because earlier this year I made a whole bag just for irrigation. Like I put sprinkler heads in there and put fittings and stuff like that and all the tools that I would need to do it. But I've done so many systems already this year, I ran out of clamps. I'm pretty sure I do have some in my garage though, so that's good. But I need to pick up some more, and I was just at the store. I should have grabbed some. Hopefully I got enough in here. I have to turn this light on. I can't see nothing. My garage is an absolute disaster right now. It's been getting neglected, you guys. I've been falling apart the last few weeks. Here we go. And they are not big enough. Oh goodness, you guys. Well, that's a bummer. I only have these little tiny, like 1/4 inch. I'm getting the black lines on my I have a couple in here, a couple 3/4 in here, but that's it. Crap, I'm gonna need a lot more than that. I'm gonna need probably 12 of them. Shoot, that sucks. Oh, tell me I don't have to go all the way back out there again. Yeah, I am. Well, you guys, looks like I'm going back to Lowell's because I forgot to grab my clamps. Crap. Let that be a lesson to you guys. Make sure you got everything you need before you go out. Dang it. Yeah, looks like I got maybe 2 of them in there. Darn it. All right, well, I'm guessing I'm gonna go Lowell's. See you in just a second. Well, that was a very long day. It's well, I was just on the phone for 20 minutes, but it's 4:30 now, you guys. And when I first got here, the person that installed both of these systems, both of these sprinkler systems for this house and the neighbor, he was over here because the Walda next door, the neighbor, she was having the same problems with her irrigation system where it just, like, they were all trying to turn on at the same time, like the valves weren't closing or whatever. So he was checking the voltage on the power box, and he was checking the wires to make sure everything was connected, and he kept going back to the control box to see what was happening. And then the only way he could get the system to start running properly was he did like a reset where he like unplugged some of the wires from the panel box and then plugged it back in and then started the system back up. And then he finally got the system going again. But he said that he's done this before a few different times and the system keeps doing the same thing. He was having those issues last year, and 2 years ago he said he replaced all the valves and he put in what was it, Hunter valves or whatever. And he said last year he was having a lot of those problems, and he ended up rerouting like power cables and stuff like that, and that house actually got struck by lightning, and that's what did a lot of damage. So he went through and checked all the wires and everything was good to go, is what he said. And then he replaced the valves 2 years ago, and then he's been having the same issues. And then when I got here, I started asking him all these questions of what was going on, because when I diagnosed the neighbor right here that I just worked on, from what I was understanding, it was just a valve issue. Like there was 1 or 2 valves that were just not closing when they were supposed to, and that was causing the entire system to try to pump too much water, and it wasn't enough pressure. So what I did was I replaced 2 valves, and sure enough, as soon as I replaced those 2 valves, the entire system started working properly. And I tested it and I tried it like 5 or 6 different cycles, and now everything is good to go. The only problem I ran into was I forgot to bring my wire nuts with me. So tomorrow when I come back here to mow, I'm gonna bring my wire nuts with me and finish the system off, and I'm going to talk to the owner and ask her if she wants me to go through and replace the other 4 valves that are in there, because my initial thought was I'm already here, I'm just going to replace them all. They're pretty inexpensive, they're like 16 bucks a piece, and then I usually charge like $100 to replace each one of them. So I'm not going to knock $400 off their price. There's no way. They're going to pay me at least, you know, $450 for this, because I have to go through and add risers to about 6 different heads. For those of you that don't know, the riser is what brings the whole sprinkler head up out of the ground, and her grass has over time just built up so much dirt, and the grass is getting so thick. The sprinkler head is going right to the top, so what it's doing is it's just hitting the top of the grass, and it's not dispersing the water properly. So what you do is you either have to dig really far down and try to pull that pipe up a little bit, or you just dig down and you add like an inch riser or an inch and a half or whatever, so that it brings the sprinkler head up out of the ground a little bit more. You just got to be careful when you're doing that, because you don't want the sprinkler head to be completely exposed. You don't want it coming too high in the air, because then you'll run it over with like your car, or you'll hit it with, you know, the lawnmower and stuff like that. But there's 4 heads that need to be replaced regardless. And also there, like I said, there's a bunch of heads that need risers, and you can definitely tell what I'm talking about if you look at her grass. The driveway, it's hard to see from here, but the grass is like a solid 3-4 inches off the pavement. And like I said, over time, just the wind, it just brings all the dirt in here from the leaves falling off the trees and breaking down into the soil. It's just adding more soil to the ground. And then over time, like I said, these sprinklers probably haven't been touched in 10 years, so the dirt level is rising, and the sprinklers are stationed, like they're fixed into the ground. They're not going to rise with the dirt. Most of the time they won't, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. I spent hours on this system. It was kind of a pain because I didn't 100% know which valves were the problems. I did what my uncle taught me, turn the systems on, see what's going on, and then try to hold the valve and see if there's water going through the tubes and stuff like that. But the problem was they were all open, like everything was open, so water was running through everywhere. So I was only able to figure out like a little bit of which valve went to which station and stuff like that. Like I was only able to break it down, and then I noticed 2 that needed to be replaced, like definitely, and luckily it was 2 that were really easy to get to. The other 4 are actually right behind this big old bush right here, so they will be such a pain in the butt to remove. For anybody who hasn't replaced valves before, it's a big old black block, and it just screws into the PVC pipe from the water coming out, and then there's the valve, and then the valve usually has like a screw and adapter on the other end, and then there's the PVC tubing that runs through the entire yard and stuff like that. And then that poly pipe or whatever, you have to be able to flex it very high or very low and able to make a tight connection. You can't just screw stuff in, like, because it's hard to explain, but the poly pipe's going to be like this, and then the valve hole is going to be, it has to go inside of each other, and you can't just stretch pipe. So what you end up having is this is going to be like overhanging here, and you have to get this pipe really hot, and you have to dig really far away from it so you can pull it up out of the ground, and then pull this one out of the ground, and then you push them down together so that they connect inside of each other. It's kind of a pain, and that's what sucks, is because those valves are up against the house, so I will have to literally dig out that bush. It's going to be a pain. So I'm going to talk to the customer, I'm going to tell her what's going on, and I'm going to explain to her and whatever she wants to do, but that bush is going to be a giant pain in the butt when it comes to replacing that stuff. But there is also another pipe, I cannot remember what it's called for the life of me. I think it's called wiggly pipe or something, but it's really flexible piping so that you don't have to, you know, try to kill yourself putting the valve and then the poly pipe together. You can just, you know, it's just not recommended because it's not the sturdiest stuff in the world, but sometimes you need to use that, and I really can't remember what it's called. I doubt it's called wiggly pipe or whatever. But today was a really awesome day, you guys. It was so hot outside, my shirt's literally stuck to me, and I know I need to stop wearing black, but I have a little surprise for you guys here. I'll let you know what I'm talking about in a couple of days. We're gonna be ditching the black shirts and going to something else. I actually have somebody who reached out to me and potential sponsorship, so we'll talk about that in a couple of days. And also, I just got off the phone with AAA Lawn Care. I applied for a technician position like last week or whatever. They called me back, and I'm actually going to be going in for my second interview on Thursday. And it sounds like a really good gig. It really does. The drive from my house to over there, it's going to be a solid 20 minutes, so that sucks. But other than that, it's just, you know, really good first shift hours. And then in the off season, they put up Christmas lights, and they said that they have a lot of people that do the Christmas lights too. And it's funny because somebody just commented on my last video because I was asking what I should do in the off season, and he told me that Christmas lights was good money, and I was actually looking into it. But it's crazy. AAA, you know, that's what they do, so that's what I'll be doing in the off season. And then for about anywhere between like 3 and 6 weeks, depending on how long I want to, we'll just be doing unemployment, which is kind of nice. So you're working all year, there's a paycheck coming all year. And what my game plan is because I just dropped like 6 or 7 clients, I'm just gonna mow as much as I possibly can on like a Sunday. and get as many clients as I can done on a Sunday, because their work hours are from 7 a.m. until I think 3 p.m. So by the time I get home, it'll be like 4 o'clock. So if I really have to, or if I really needed to, I could definitely keep working. I can come home and I can just change my shirt and I can get back to work and go cut a couple yards and then be done at around like 6 or 7 o'clock. But that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. You know what to do. Smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you have any questions, concern, comments about the video, I really appreciate it. Drop it down in the comment section below. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace.